I really hope a nice, long, honest macro game. We'll see if that happens. Spawning in the top left-hand side of Death Aura LE, it is our red Protoss player. And he is, of course, representing France. And teamless, it is ShaDoWn.
And his opponent in the bottom right, representing Poland and Team Exxon. He is the blue Protoss player, the savior of DreamHack Masters Fall. Can he repeat it for winter? It's Gerald.
Yeah, you know, Grant, this is a really interesting spot. I think not just for Gerald, but also for ShaDoWn, right? ShaDoWn, unfortunately, sitting right now at 1-4, which means it's likely he's going to be eliminated. He can win the next 2 games and have a shot, but it's going to be real close. Gerald sitting at 2-3. If he wins this, he goes up to a 3-3, and that means he's got a chance, a hope, a prayer to move on. So Gerald absolutely fighting for his tournament life, and ShaDoWn, I don't know, wants a win for the honor and maybe a chance to move on, but it's so slim right now, Grant. It's so slim.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. Results have to go certain ways. This game so far, though, Creighton, we do have something a little bit cheeky going on, and I said this in the last series. Sometimes when you want a proxy, you just hide it in plain sight. Because this isn't really in a nook or a cranny, but it's still just out of the standard scouting pattern. And this proxy Stargate going to hit very, very early. Gerald now going in for a scout. We'll see a missing pylon, and I'll know he'll have to adapt. He does drop down that pylon of his own as well. Was that his pylon? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Good. Good, so you can see these first units and see the stalker. But Gerald going adept is going to mean he is a little bit underprepared for this immortal for this Stargate. The Oracle is the word I'm looking for when it hits. And things going to be a little bit scary here.
Nah, he's already seen it, Grant. You not following my camera this game, buddy? Come on now. Gerald's already seen this Stargate. It's getting chronoed out, but he hasn't built anything yet. There's the first Oracle, but already these Adepts. Stalker's out as well for ShaDoWn, and what he's going to do is snipe this probe, and then probably move over and try and depower this Stargate. He's not going to quite get to it in time, but now he will show that, hey, I know you're coming. I know you've been scouted. Such a smart, big brain move from Gerald. A couple things here. He, initially hid his probe, so ShaDoWn did not know he'd been scouted, right?
Yep.
The probe was on the other side of the map, and ShaDoWn was like, oh, good, this is still a secret. And then Gerald moving that probe in halfway through, so the Oracle already out, and he's going to be forced to waste some of his energy picking off these probes, I think. No, he's just going to go back home to defend? No, what's he doing? Yeah, he's got to get these probes down. There you go. Gonna get the probes, but already some Adepts causing some trouble for
really bad.
For ShaDoWn. Yeah, Gerald doing a little bit more damage. ShaDoWn just getting stymied at every turn.
Yeah, these Adepts should never get into the main. We did have that pylon block that created this, but now at this point they're doing so much damage at the other side of the map. 7 workers fall, and that number continuing to rise. The Oracle comes in at the other side. Nothing. Nada. Nil. We are seeing what seems to be a total of 9. Is it going to be 10? Yes. 10 workers go down, and right now Gerald he is sitting on Pleasure Beach in Miami right now, loving life with a cocktail, because he's in a great spot.
I don't know that I'd want to be in Florida right now, honestly. My little sister lives in Florida, and she's like, yeah, it's not good, guys.
Is that where there's like a fire or something? I'm so English.
Oh, no, the fires are in, currently the places in America that are on fire are California and Colorado. But Florida is election central in the States right now. And she says that she cannot turn on the TV, radio, internet, anything. And it's, since Florida is such a big election hotspot, she says that it's just gotten so annoying. I kid you not. Oh, man, what a good save from ShaDoWn there. But he's going to have to do a lot more damage than that, Grant. I kid you not. I texted my sister and was like, hey, don't forget today's the last day to register to vote in your state. And she said, I will add you to my block list with everyone else. And I was like, ooh. All right, little sister. Just
spicy.
Right nice snipe there from Gerald, who does great work. ShaDoWn is just falling apart all over the place right now, Grant. A bad start when he was scouted. A bad follow-up to that when the Adepts got in. And, of course, now his Stargate going to be depowered by these Stalkers. And he can't afford to send his own stuff across the map to try and defend against it. He simply can't do it because if there's a counterattack, he's going to get crushed this early. Gerald's Forge is ahead. Gerald's Blink is ahead. Gerald's Probe count is still ahead. ShaDoWn behind in every measure. Grant, what can ShaDoWn do right now to try and dig himself out of this hole?
PvP a difficult matchup to come back from a deficit in, but there is always a possibility if you get it later and you get into things like disruptor shots that can spin the game very easy. The other thing he can do is try and find some damage somewhere economically. He still did kill a few workers, so he's only 6 workers. He's only killed 6. Okay, whoa, that scared me for a second. 6 less workers than that of his opponent. And right now, Gerald does have the stronger army, but workers, they're not too different. It's just the army value right now, heavily in Gerald's favour. So I think ShaDoWn has to sit back, slowly claw back that worker value. This is a good start, loses a couple of drones, but he does get the adepts here. As long as he gets both, this will be nice. He might not, though. Yeah, he will.
Yeah. Finally grabs both of them, but you know what, Grant? That's all. It's such an aggressive sound. It's like that and the ghost killing sound.
The ghost one's so good.
Wow, I feel like the sound design and main engineer was on vacation. One of the interns was like, hey guys, we can flip this by him. He's never gonna see it. We're in crunch right now. We'll slip in 2 just terrifying sounds, and they were like adepts and ghosts, perfect. Now, Gerald was poking around, trying to find some damage here with these stalkers, but very wisely pulls away. Even though ShaDoWn looks like he's ahead right now, we do see, of course, that 3rd Nexus starting for Gerald is +1 slightly ahead. He's still adding on probes. He's adding on more gateways as well. He's going to be up to 4 gates to the only 2 of ShaDoWn right now, Grant. And, again, if you just look at the ribbon at the bottom here, ooh, a bit of a bold play. He's going to have to recall. Yeah, recall here. He'll lose a couple, I think, 2, maybe 3. No, he's going to be out of all 4. Not bad. Yeah, loses 2, but stops that 3rd base from Ghost going down, kills 3 probes. Grant, again, if you look at the ribbon, you're like, okay, ShaDoWn 5 probes behind, otherwise army supply looks even, everything looks good. Nah, he's so far behind right now, not just in what you can see on the field, but in the intangibles as well. The tempo completely on Gerald's side of the map.
Yeah, right now Gerald has complete control of this game, and that's where he wants to be, because he said this in some of his interviews during fall. He's actually quite nervous in early game PvP. He doesn't feel comfortable, but he bloody loves it once it gets past 10 minutes. That is his wheelhouse. That's where he feels very confident. If he can get into disruptors, he rarely loses. He knows when to make those transitions towards the Stargate units as well. Him with Blink DTs is disgustingly good. And the concern right now is he is pulling ahead in everything that can be judged, every metric of the game. His upgrades are better, his army count is higher, his worker count even, but he can pull ahead at any point. He has more gateways, he's just got more everything. Now, as I said, the game is quite static right now, neither player really committing to any real harassment, and that does allow you to catch up if you put your chronos in the right place. And you're very, on the ball, your macro. We can see even here, Gerald does have a little bit too much energy on one of these Nexuses. Is not been using his chronos as efficiently, and if ShaDoWn has, and you can catch up. It is a very, very real tool. But for now, the game, everything's calmed down, and we see that robotics play go down for Gerald. He's feeling happy.
Yeah, and this calming period is great for Gerald, right? If you're the player that's behind, the onus is kind of on you to cause some trouble, to cause a ruckus, to make some kerfuffles happen out and about on the map, to try and surprise your opponent, take some sort of advantage, go for guerrilla warfare. But ShaDoWn has not been able to do that at all. He's been sitting back home, desperately trying to help out and not able to muster up any sort of surprise attack, any sort of aggression to really draw the initiative in his favor. So unfortunately, it looks like Gerald's push here is going to be just very, very strong. He's got the Warp Prism, he's got the Immortals, he even snipes the Observer early. This is great. It's going to allow ShaDoWn to get into place to defend against this, but with big Warp-ins here, Gerald's going to have a better army. He's going to hit with a crisp 2-2 timing, and he's even got a Dark Shrine heading behind this.
Yeah, he's getting everything he needs right now. This factory out in the open is going to be unpowered as well, meaning right now it is more of a boon than it is a positive, because it's creating pathway networks. And you'll see Gerald is probably not going to attack it too much, because you create like a force field here. You really are creating a semi-wall, meaning that some of these stalkers in the back cannot fight right now for ShaDoWn. Some nice force fields, because guess what? Here comes the pain coming over at the 12 o'clock point. Another 7 workers and more going down. Gerald's killed more than 25 workers so far this game, Creighton, and he is feeling great right now. He can take his 4th whenever he wants. Disruptor's on the way for him. We do have that first Purification Nova coming out right now for ShaDoWn, but this is really, really getting scary.
Yeah, the big benefit to the Warp Prism is that you can reinforce, and usually what that means is Defender's advantage is pretty much negated. That's the whole reason you bring the Warp Prism. The problem is the Warp Prism can't warp in Disruptors, Grant, so the army for ShaDoWn actually is a little better right now with the Disruptor available. And of course, Zealots don't have Link, so they can't sneak out. But honestly, great splits here from Gerald. He's actually taking a rougher fight, but he's got a lot of DTs in the main base right now. And even one Photon Cannon, Grant, not going to be enough to save this.
No, he's actually just taking down all of the observers. He made a real conscious effort to do it, meaning he's the only one with an observer right now. These DTs could even come for a fight, but they're doing so much damage right now in the main. Everywhere he goes down, Disruptor's being forced to be used. The main Nexus is going to go down, Grayson, and that just means workers cannot be made. Oh, hello, Artos. Oh, yeah, was it an Artos pylon or not? Yes,
just about. Oh, one more warp gate does go down. One more warp gate still powered, but Zealot's cleaning up these DTs. Finally, the Observer pops out, and I will say, Grant, Gerald actually did take a pretty mediocre fight at that third base. He lost an awful lot. The Disruptor's able to zone him out, but the DTs were really where the meat of Gerald's army was there. So even though his army supply is down, the main base is gone. Now the fourth base behind, +3 has been slowed down, forced it down. Yeah, amazing supply block there. And Gerald still finds himself in a good spot despite taking a bad fight. I will say that's enheartening for ShaDoWn, though. He's realizing, hey, wait a minute, I'm not completely dead yet. He's going to get this important. Not bad. Oh, Disruptor balls going through, and they will not finish out. Good snipes here from ShaDoWn, Grant.
ShaDoWn taking the fight that he actually needs to, blinking forward aggressively here. Where are the Disruptors right now of Gerald? He hasn't got any. He's sitting on pure Stalker, making more. He lost them all in that fight, meaning that right now he is in a disadvantaged position. He does have a flank coming in right now. As long as he dodges this, which he does not, things could have been good here. He needs to blink at the north and south side, gets that north side blink. We'll be able to take out some of these Disruptors. We'll be able to take out everything by the looks of it. It's a very, very scrappy fight, but it does look like in the end, Gerald taking a massive advantage.
This one poor Disruptor. Oh my god, blinks on top of the Disruptor and grabs it before the recall occurs. Gets the second one as well. Gerald lost his Disruptors earlier, but now he has returned the favor in kind. Both players losing a handful of Disruptors now, and Gerald, there's practically nothing left to defend. Grant, can we just... GG, of course, yeah, ShaDoWn knows he can't fight that. Can I just take a moment and point out, Grant, in that previous fight, the real heroes of that fight were not the Disruptors, they were not the Stalkers, they were the Charge Zealots of Gerald. Those charge slots getting right around the force fields, +2 charge slots, terrifying, and they just had their way with those Stalkers and Disruptors, tearing through the army. The Stalkers of Gerald were basically just like bait on either side, and those Zealots just doing an amazing job tearing through the army of ShaDoWn right there. So ShaDoWn in a bad spot from the beginning of the game, and let's be honest, Grant, that game was more or less over when those two Adepts got, 9 kills, 7 kills at the very beginning of the game. Again, StarCraft is a very volatile game. Anything can happen. But man, when you lose that much economy that early in the game, it's a hole that you just dig yourself. You got to dig yourself out of for the rest of the game. Story that we've seen in, I think, all 3 of our matchups today, Grant. Yeah,
I completely agree. And I think that's really intelligent what you said. That thing about Gerald being a masturbator. Just working out too good for him. He was able to trap his opponent and close out the game. Very, very clean. And as we said, if Gerald can get into the late game, even or ahead, he can certainly punish. But he did scout that early all in. He did find everything he needed to. He did get damage himself with those 2 Adepts. That should never really happen. So as long as ShaDoWn closes up the gaps, I think we should have a closer game too.
Grant, can I be honest with you, buddy?
No.
And I know we're live on stream, and it probably isn't the best time to have a heart-to-heart with you.
No.
I set you up for that joke 3 days ago.
Did I not take it?
You missed it. I alley-ooped you this incredible. It was sort of hidden in the rest of the cast. I was like, wow. I think what I said was, wow, he really baited him over to the third base there, and that's why he is just a master at it. And you didn't take it.
I took it that time. I was pretty sick, though.
You didn't even swing at it.
I was sick.
Watched it sail over the plate, and I was so disappointed that I didn't have the heart to tell you because I knew how disappointed with yourself you'd be.
I am.
But I'm glad you've made up for it today, at least. Let's get into game 2 here.
I'm blaming the illness.
Fair enough. Our first player here on Jagannatha LE from Team Exxon, the most handsome Protoss player in the game, up to and including Zest from Team Exxon in Poland. He is Gerald.
And his opponent, the young Frenchman in the red, representing nobody. Sign him up, teams. He is ShaDoWn.
It's so interesting when we see these hyper talented players who aren't with a team, and you know, it's not that like they're not good or that there's like somebody doesn't believe in them or something. Getting a StarCraft team is a very complicated sort of process, and there's a lot of factors that go into it. But obviously, we would love to see players that are in these tournaments be supported by a team atmosphere. Whether they're drawing a salary or not is kind of not irrelevant for them, certainly. But it's not all about the salary. I mean, look at what's happened with like Team Exxon over the last, 6, 8, 12 months, Grant. They have they've gone from basically a sort of a farm team, an amateur NA team, to picking up Gerald and Special and Cham and Max Packs and like all these really decent A and B tier EU and NA players. And of course, the team atmosphere is going to help out a ton, just giving them access to more build orders, more strategies, more practice partners. As they say, a rising tide lifts all boats, and that's never more true than on a StarCraft team, where getting more and more good players makes all your team players a little bit more strong. There's a reason Jin Air Green Wings has been dominant for so long, Grant.
Yeah, completely. And playing all these clan wars and things allows them to make money that they wouldn't make otherwise, which is great.
Yeah.
So I love it that these teams are picking players up. I'd like to see a few more. You know, if you're feeling adventurous, start a StarCraft 2 team. Bugger it. Why not? You know, just be honest, be kind, don't steal from your players, or Grant will show up at your door and he'll slap you right in the face.
It's happened before. It'll happen again.
Yep. I showed up to...
No question.
The Creighton's house. He said something mean once. I showed up and now he's got no hair.
You thought you should have seen me when I first had my StarCraft team. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It was like Bob Ross. Just amazing. And now it's completely gone. Mild differences here, Grant. My bad team ownership and lack of follicles aside, minor differences here between these two players. Little Adepts coming out here for ShaDoWn. Gerald does get his little pylon down, but that should be canceled pretty quick. Adepts can shade down that pylon. And we got Stalkers on the other side of the map. So 4 Stalkers and 4 Adepts. Grant, what do Stalkers tell us about what you're going to build afterwards? What do Adepts tell us about what ShaDoWn's going to build afterwards?
PvP kind of difficult. Well, you let it complete, okay. You can never be certain, but Stalkers, you know, you look at that and go, well, maybe he's going to go Blink. And there is no very early Stargate. If you go Stargate, typically you go for it very soon after your Cybercore. And we've not seen that from either player, so it does look like we'll have Twilight Councils and Robos from both. Nexus, much quicker from ShaDoWn. We do actually have the potential that 2 Adepts are going to get into Gerald's main here. Does he have a wall up? Yes. Oh, I think he did for a second.
Barely. He gets that down just as the probe gets killed. Of course, the recall there for Gerald to try, or for ShaDoWn rather, to try and save himself. These Stalkers getting some decent pot shots off on the Adepts. The Stalkers have got to get out of here. Adepts can chase this down, and this is actually going to be an advantageous fight for ShaDoWn. Shade allows you a lot more mobility, a lot more flexibility in this push, and of course, the Adept Shades move faster than the Stalkers do. Stalkers will get out of here. They'll join up with 2 of their buddies and continue this pressure, but I think ShaDoWn's going to be able to hold the shield battery now, and that's great for ShaDoWn. As you said, his Nexus down way before Gerald, who's only just now. He's still 150 minerals away from dropping his Nexus down, Grant. And that's because he's proxying a gateway.
It's going to be Steam, though. There's a lot of Stalkers only fighting Adepts, so this is a lot of Stalkers. And it's micro good. 1 Adept will go down, more Stalkers joining the fray. He's going to catch another one here. Doesn't want to lose a Stalker if he can avoid it. Will lose one. Can't really be affording to lose any more, though. This is getting very, very scrappy for both. It does look like, the full council will go down. Nexus has gone down here for Gerald, but he's making a lot of units right now, and it is, as we said, all Stalkers, no Immortal out yet. ShaDoWn is up in army supply, but it's not an army that wants to take a straight up fight against this many Stalkers. These sentries, if they get caught, could have been at risk. Nice shade back. With the battery here and super battery available, this shouldn't really get much. If a pylon goes down, though, we may see a bigger committal. Force field coming down. It looks like the fight is going to happen, but ShaDoWn with a great start here. This free gate pressure really failing, I'd say.
Oh, I don't know, Grant. This still looks pretty scary from Gerald, and I think he's got the opportunity here. If he sees this going well, he could always cancel his Nexus back home and like really invest. The problem is he's only on 3 gates, right, which isn't quite enough to go all into this pressure. And now with the Immortal out, he doesn't have quite as diverse of an army. So I think you're correct in your assessment now. Gerald sort of opened himself up to a couple possibilities there. Again, could have canceled that Nexus and gone really hardcore all in if he wanted to with that forward gateway. But as it is, he's going to be forced to retreat here. And a good hold from ShaDoWn there. Man, it was dicey for just a moment, though. That shield battery was out of energy. The sentries were naked there for a moment. I love that Gerald's still being aggressive because he knows he's in a position of weakness now, and he's got to stay on the map and try and force some units out of ShaDoWn. But yeah, Gerald, is going to find himself in a rough spot. Nice force fields there. Every Stalker counts here, and Gerald is really, the wheels are falling off.
Yeah, there's no tech for Gerald. That's my problem. He's going to go for something crazy off the back of this. This is a very late glaive adept push. And the thing with this is it is actually very good against what ShaDoWn has. But ShaDoWn's already moving across the map with 2 Immortals. And glaives, although it is the quickest of the through Twilight Council upgrades, it won't be done straight away, meaning right now, there needs to be batteries going down. There needs to be everything prepared. We even have, this is nice, I like this, forcing a warp in a home, Gerald finding a bit of damage here, getting a few workers, 6, oh, he's even going to get into the, oh, he maybe could have gone for another probe there, doesn't in the end. But right now he needs to buy time. How many batteries are up right now? Is it just the 1?
Just 1. Second one's going to finish here. Yeah. But 2 Immortals, man. These force fields going to try and grab what they can. The sentries are going to escape, though. There's a lot of force fields out. The Warp Prism here for ShaDoWn as well. Warp Prism with double Immortal Grant is just terrifying if you're on the receiving end of this. Because what's the Warp Prism count for Gerald? It's 0. What's the Immortal count for Gerald? It's 0. He was going to try and force field off the ramp there. I think it's going to be a little bit too late, though. Not going to be able to make that force field happen. But this is great dual prong pressure from ShaDoWn, basically with 1 army. How often do you get to threaten 2 locations at once? Gerald now has to split his army in half to try and prevent the wall from, or the ramp from getting walled off. And with no blink, with no Warp Prism, if this force field gets down on the ramp, ShaDoWn is basically got this game won.
It's not good, I don't think. Resonating Glaive has completed. A few sentries going down here, but the Adepts firmly in favor of the blue Protoss player here from Poland is going to be able to take a better fight. And now it is just naked Immortals. And sure, they are going to be able to dance in the Prism. But Gerald's doing a good job. He forces a recall, even going to catch a little Stalker for his troubles. Doesn't want to take too much damage here. The battery will go down, as will a fair few probes. The Stalker's not the Immortal's not marrying up the shots. That means the units will survive for now. Nice defense from Gerald, who came into this with a tech disadvantage, and now he's catching an Immortal Kraton.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake there from ShaDoWn, overstaying his welcome a bit. And of course, he doesn't have recall available for a long time. So these Stalkers can keep this Warp Prism back, and that means no additional pressure from Gerald for a while, as a lot of his army supply is tied up in this, or from ShaDoWn rather, as a lot of his army supply is tied up in this Warp Prism and the Immortal. Behind this, ShaDoWn going for a 3rd base, Gerald stuck on 2. That attack did not go as well for ShaDoWn as he had hoped. He is 10 probes ahead, but Gerald has a pretty scary looking army here as well. It's all gateway units though, Grant, and I think ShaDoWn's going to be able to defend.
I guess the one positive is it is the best gateway units that you can have, I would guess, in this scenario. Yes. Immortals really don't like Adepts, especially Resonating Glaive Adepts. Now here comes the pain, a big shade forward. This is a lot of units. Kraton, there's only 1 battery here. I don't know if that's going to be enough. The Glaive completes the Guardian Shield. This is very, very scrappy, hard to see. Let's get the units tab open. There's still 15 Adepts left over, but it looks like Gerald is going to retreat here.
That last second stop of the main base, very nicely done by ShaDoWn. If those Adepts had gotten to the main base, this would be a whole new level of pain for ShaDoWn. As it is, he's defending fairly well so far. Stalkers in the back going to just shell away at this Nexus little by little, slowly and surely pecking away. That means the Adepts can get a couple shots off in between their shots on the army. Of course, the Nexus, if he doesn't pick this Nexus off, it does just mean he's lost a lot, but he's going to go for it. The Shade should finish right on top of the Immortals here. Immortal number 1 going to get, oh no, Immortal, a little bit of misfire there. He was going for the Immortal, but got the Stalkers instead. 1 Immortal still alive here, ShaDoWn, but Gerald is actually pulling ahead here. What a fight from Gerald right now, Grant.
He's fighting. I don't know why ShaDoWn right now is fighting without batteries. He doesn't need, like, this 3rd isn't gonna like win or lose him the game right now, because there is no 3rd down for ShaDoWn. We still have 1 Immortal forced at the other side of the map. That'd be such a game changer right now. Again, we have the Shades going in. They're targeting down the Immortal. The Immortal will fall, and now it's just Stalker on Stalker with a few Glaive Adepts to add in a little bit of spice, and it looks like Gerald is going to push his opponent back. This shouldn't be working. The base falls down as well. Oh! The Immortal is stuck as the Prism gets taken down, and if I'm Gerald right now, I'm going home.
That's the worst recall I've ever seen in the world, Grant. He recalled that Warp Prism with the Immortal to the 3rd base, and Gerald was like, oh, free Warp Prism? Why, yes, please. And again, this is great timing from Gerald, because look at the upgrades right now. +1 just finishing for ShaDoWn. Of course, there's no +1 for Gerald, and he's going to stay on top of this. He realizes his army supply is the biggest thing he's got, and the biggest advantage he's got here in this game. And some beautiful force fields there from ShaDoWn, going to buy him a little bit more time. Gerald just waiting, hoping to pop back in. 2 base to 2 base now, and the resources lost tab way in favor of Gerald. This game is turned on a dime, Grant. Still not over yet, though.
This proxy pylon has been the MVP so far here. Having this gateway so close for quick warp-ins has really been helping our Polish player. He's able to do such a great job of getting these units in. He's completely taken away defenders' advantage. The only thing he doesn't have is batteries. And as long as ShaDoWn fights with batteries, I can't see him being broken. He does have +1, which means that these immortals are able to really dish out a lot of damage now. This base might get cancelled, I would not be surprised, and that's what Gerald needs to do right now, because his third is coming down. I'd like to see him maybe just recall now. He's going to try and blink his way to victory. He does have that advantage, an immortal coming in for the flank. A big blink forward.
Damn. That's a great blunk there from Gerald, getting right on top of the Immortal from ShaDoWn. That's exactly what he wanted to do, right? It was kind of fake. I love that Gerald was kind of playing coy at the beginning. He was blinking back individual stalkers. He was like, oh, I'm going to use this blink defensively. I think I can out-micro you. And then as soon as ShaDoWn let his guard down, started retreating, didn't micro his Immortal properly, bam! Blunked on top of the Immortal taken out in one shot here. Gerald still with an army supply advantage, but remember, ShaDoWn has a distinct probe advantage, 54 to 43.
Oh,
he's got he's still on 2 bases, and he's going to have to pull these probes to try and survive this attack. It's going to be real close, Grant.
Yeah, there's still Glaver Depths in the front line doing so much damage. The probes fall really before they can even get there. And with Blink now done for both, the advantage has gone for Gerald. Gerald up massively in supply right now, reinforcing with a few more adepts, trying desperately to get every unit he can. He blinks the injured stalkers backward, but it looks like maybe he has too many numbers. Gerald has actually made this work, it seems like. It should have been impossible, but he's done so much damage, and now his third is up, and he's up 11 workers creating. What an incredible couple of fights here from the Polish Protoss.
Unbelievable. From a huge position of weakness earlier in the game now, ShaDoWn seemed to be unassailable, Grant. 10 workers ahead, 1 base up, his tech is superior, and now just look at the production tab. Extra gates coming down, disruptors starting out for Gerald here. His own +1's going to start, and of course the Forge got sniped earlier for ShaDoWn. I don't believe he's rebuilt a Forge yet, which means that upgrades could actually be in favor of Gerald before too long. And with a 3rd base down, Gerald's going to do the exact right move, Grant. Retreat, wait, build up a force, push in again when it's time. This is so good. Gerald starting his +2 right away and adding on 4 more gates. Oh, jeez. ShaDoWn's 3rd base just now getting restarted for the umpteenth time this game. Yeah. Unbelievable. What a great spot by Gerald.
And this all came from a very intelligent move to go for Glaver Depths. Like we said, it is uncommon. I've seen it a couple of times where a Protoss will go for Glaver Depths to try and win an early game fight, so to speak. Not necessarily as their tech choice, but as a follow-up or whatever. And it worked, but again, that gateway being proxied completely kept Gerald in this game. It was so close. If his units had to take an extra 5 seconds walking, all of that added up time, that cumulative time of not fighting would have been awful here for Gerald. But he did do it, and now he's got disruptors on the field. He's getting his 3rd, his +2 halfway up. Robotics Bay only just starting now for ShaDoWn, and ShaDoWn is now the one with an unbelievably difficult task ahead of him if he wants to bring it back and go to game 3 in the series.
Yeah, ShaDoWn's seen this coming. He does have the Observer out, but with the Disruptor here, this is going to be a difficult fight. Ooh, ShaDoWn blinking forward there very aggressively. Luckily for him, Gerald's Disruptor not quite in the fight. You know, we've seen this 1,000 times in PvP. Blink Stalker with Disruptor. It's such an interesting little dance that the players have to do, and it all really comes down to if you can bait out that blink from your opponent. If ShaDoWn can if Gerald can bait out a big blink, then he can make it win. And yeah, with that